Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back to Star Wars The Clone Wars Republic Heroes. Let's continue. So the stories are reconnecting as we're playing as two more Jedis. It seems like the Clone Troopers have found the lightsabers that are floating in the area, in the space. And, they're going to give him back to Obi-Wan, and I believe his name was Plo.
Most impressive, my friend.
While right now, the alien we're playing with is Kit Fisto, and I don't know who this other character is, but if they said his name, I probably would recognize it. Being mostly a fan who played the Lego Star Wars game and really has their fandom established and built from that. Boy, is this repetitive. The game has gotten very, very repetitive.
Hit the switches. In the correct order, you must.
Wow, that is the first time the game, I believe, has ever taken control of the camera away. Okay, now I understand. You don't have to figure out the combination, you just have to repeat it. Well, I suppose that's at least slightly a better way to make this less repetitive. Yeah, but because I played Star Wars as the Lego Star Wars games, I'm only familiar with the way they look as Lego minifigures. I'm not familiar as how they would look on the Clone Wars cartoon or in the real world. So I guess third time's the charm, or are they gonna make us do this more than 3 times? What was the deal there? I did that. I guess my partner has been programmed not to try and help. Although he did just help.
Most impressive, Master Windu.
Okay, this is Mace Windu?
Hello. Does anyone
I
copy?
guess.
This is an emergency.
I know that name, but I don't place the
This
face.
is General Mace Windu. Identify yourself.
This is CP-6824 of the Juma 9 station. Am I glad
This
to hear
is
your
the-
voice, sir? Switch.
This is part of the
Probably
problem.
done for a soft shell. Yes, sir. Good to have you back aboard, Commander.
Private, this is
Partially
General
the problem
Do you have a current fix on
of the
General
Clone
Obi-Wan
Wars
Kenobi?
animation style is
I
it
haven't been able to
is
contact
this
anyone for some
weird
time.
low polygon CG style
so.
designed, I imagine, to do the best they can do on a budget.
That's your mission switch. Hold
I
position.
believe the
We're coming
Clone
to-
Wars came out
Commander
on
Barnes, you and Cody get your
something
men
like
inside and stand by
Nickelodeon.
for further orders. This is still a
so
rescue
those
operation.
shows, even
Copy that,
the
sir.
new cartoon
Thank you.
shows that they
Be
make,
on your guard, troopers.
were
The
not
Separatists aren't going to give up this station without a fight.
not very well budgeted, I guess you could say. I don't know if it's in canon for Star Wars people to have wrist communicators either. I clearly remember seeing headsets, but I don't think there are wrist communicators. It's kind of like if Mace Windu pulled out a cell phone, that would seem really odd.
The Jedi are inside. Keep them occupied.
Yes, mistress.
Oh, too easy.
And this is a Sith lady, I believe, that's our new enemy.
This looks
It would
like
be
a
nice to
great
know
origin.
some of the backstory of her.
I've never seen anything like
Honestly, I kind of need the backstory on all these characters.
The men are ready and waiting, General.
Vultures, take cover!
It also feels very strange that
You
Force to hold the droid's legs. Then slice them. Your ally can.
Okay, so I'm supposed to hold them down. Yeah, I really need the backstory. Like, I can't do anything. I have to move.
And onto its head. Jump. Stab into its head. You should.
Let's see. And then I am supposed to climb the legs and then double jump and just stab the head, or what? I'm not getting a droid jack prompt, so I don't know if I'm just supposed to stand here and tap the X button or what. X doesn't put you here. Double X does work.
That was quite a welcome party.
Do you feel it?
Yes.
It's unnatural.
We should find the ship's data recorder. It might tell us what the Separatists were carrying that caused all of this.
Perhaps we can also learn the ship's destination. We'll scout ahead. Stay here with your men and secure the hangar.
We'll contact you when we found a way through.
Personally, I think if you're going to make a game based on the animated cartoon, then the animation is just going to be the same. I think this is a prime opportunity to resell the entire cartoon. Like, where this is mostly around the idea of the thought that in 2018 nobody's probably going to pay $60 to watch the Clone Wars. They might have a Netflix, Hulu, Amazon account that pays $10 to give them access to lots of things, including the Clone Wars. But if you were to make a game like this and have all of that content in the game and take the important cutscenes, the important characterizations, the important conversations, and put them directly into the game, you save yourself a lot of effort on having to make more game content, make the game grindy and repetitive, which is exactly what they did instead. And it is very much what a game of this time would be, is just to make it grindy, just so you get that 60 hours of gameplay for a game that really shouldn't be 5 hours, or only has about 5 hours of actual content. Last time we played as these two Jedi, we were platforming. Every time we've played as these Jedi, we've been platforming. It's not a great experience to do the same thing with the same characters and then have to switch characters to
useful are droids when a hazard blocks your path.
So I'm waiting for this guy to appear again so I can get him to fly in this direction and hopefully hit that.
A fine display, Master Unduli.
Master Unduli. That's the first time I think they've said the name of that character. And I'm playing as her. Like, at least an introductory thing. The story so far, we don't need to know everything that's happened in episode 1 and 2 to get to this point. But we should know who these people are, how they joined the Jedi Council, what their backstory is. Hopefully they would have some interesting backstory and they're not just all people who were taken to the Jedi temples and trained to be Jedi from a young age, and they have nothing interesting else that ever happened in their lives. Let's see if we can get this guy to fly all the way over there. Yes, we can. And see, they had in the previous level more of a rivalry going on. Now they're being very nice to each other. Collect as many points as possible.
Oh, I remember when you used to enjoy a challenge.
I still do. But will you provide one?
And this is just a new low on as far as challenges go. They're having us jump through the same level a second time. This is something you would expect a speedrunner to do, not a normal player. And they've given me a ridiculously long amount of time to do this too, because there's still over a minute. It's not, and this isn't one of those places where it's even awkward, just tapping A to jump. And that one empty one would have been the collectible. And when I jump back, two people can jump on the same piece. Interesting. Good. Since one assumes this should be a co-op. A lot feels like it was sacrificed to make sure this could be a co-op game. And the time was 120 seconds, but it ended as soon as you've reached your location. But that was definitely a new low as far as wasting people. She's still got a very odd French-ish accent. Destroy droids with other droids. Another challenge.
Are you up for the task, Ayla?
Anytime.
And I cannot control any of these guys because they're too busy getting killed. And notice that when I jumped over there, jumped off that droid, I died. And I still got platinum for that.
Press the attack.
Like, I'm not sure if that's what I was supposed to do or not. I guess that was the right move. Running into a decent amount of these corners that are just walled off. And still no explanation as far as why. Like, why is all of this stuff floating? Why do rocks float in this planet? And if rocks float, why do the people not float? Like, I guess maybe if there was a planet with a very high magnetic core and it was polarized in such a way that all these floating icicles had the opposite, well, the same polarity, then you might have some floating rocks. But with such a high magnetic core, if you were to put some science to the science fiction, that would probably also be magnetizing all the blood, the iron in the creature's blood. I guess I'm supposed to jump here. That's an awkward transition. And again, we've seen an instance where your partner just does not have a clue where you're supposed to be, and they just let you send it around, and they let you lead your partner by the nose. I have 26 artifacts, which doesn't make sense for when they say I need 6 to unlock the next thing in the cheats. Maybe I need 6 more, and that's what the game is trying to imply. Game? What did you just do to me? Like, we're back to some awkward platforming. I keep jumping downward. Where do you want me to go, game? If that's not the location you want me, where am I supposed to go? Let's try it.
Keep your lightsaber handy.
Well, that worked. But now I'm kind of stuck. Now I'm kind of dead. I want to be pretty careful to get to the next platform in the hopes that it hits a checkpoint. Like, very ambitious platforming here. I have to applaud that. But then I have to take away any applause I'm giving the game for its ambitiousness, because they failed to succeed. So much so that I would say, for what I've seen, and let's assume I've seen almost half of the game, I think they should have cut their losses, had no platforming in the game whatsoever, and had a lot more levels built around just running forward. Most of the levels already are running forward, so it's only this sections with these people that they seem to do this.
Some of the turbines are damaged.
And there's some slidiness too, by the way. I'm gonna just tap left and then slide. I'm gonna run left, let go, slide a lot. Why you're sliding on the ice makes no sense. I mean, logically, it's icy. You should slide on it, but it does nothing for the game. It only makes the experience worse. And it's not like this floating ice planet resembles some of the ice planet of like Hoth or anything. So I'm not getting any kind of nostalgia feeling for any of the previous ice planets. Which I think the trailer for episode 8, they're on a salt planet, and they make a specific note to say they're on a salt planet. Maybe this was episode 7 instead of an ice planet, but I mean, what's the big difference? You're in a planet that's covered in some white substance, so that there is a different set of outfits and costumes that you can sell for the toys you're trying to sell, which, let's face it, that's what's going on in at least the first few Star Wars movies, if not all the Star Wars movies. Yeah, pretty much all the Star Wars movies are designed around selling toys. And that's why you have lots of costume changes and lots of characters, way more characters than you normally would have, way more droid-like characters. This is another one of those platforms where you have to wait an awkward amount of time. I mean, even the computer AI can't figure it out. It's just not tested well. It's not gameplay. Quality assurance is definitely lacking. I guess one could be fair, however, to say I thought this game was not going to play at all with it having Games for Windows Live in it. And there is a decent number of Knights of the Old Republic style Star Wars games that will either require, just won't really work when it as a single player experience, or they're just going to be too old. I also have a collection. I have almost all the Star Wars games on Steam, if not all the Star Wars games on Steam. And the not XCOM, but X-Wing, XCOM's a different game. All the X-Wing games where they're flying simulators and fighting simulators are all pretty old and they don't interest me. That being said, you could have spiced up this gameplay with somebody flying something or controlling a turret gun or something. Even the Star Wars Lego games had a few sections where you would try something different. Now, I'm not a fan of some of the real-time strategy elements that were added to the Lego Star Wars 3, the Clone Wars game, but it was something different. It wasn't the same boring experience, which is all we're getting right now, is just boring experience after boring experience. When's the last time we were attacked by anything, by the way? 5 minutes ago? 10 minutes ago? It seems like every time we play one of these levels, they tell you it's 10 minutes, but I'm not sure I really trust the clock in this game. It may very well actually be accurate, but it may just be a case of it feeling a lot longer than it should. And we jump to our death. These were very ambitious ideas to have flying gears of some kind of blown up space station, but it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. I also get the feeling that all this jumping in this level is trying to imply that the two female Jedi are somehow even sprier than the male Jedi.
This is it. Get inside.
Which
Find the data recorder, Commander.
On it, sir.
Like, that doesn't make a ton of sense. No. Wow, 17 minutes and 46 seconds. This has been a long level.
Slice into the main computer, Commander. Look for any clues about what happened here.
I'm on it, General. We've got company!
Keep them off, Commander Gree. We need that data.
I guess since we don't see a lot of Jedi in the movies,
No mercy for the clankers.
there is a potential idea of going full on like backflips and cartwheels while doing the lightsaber fights for a female Jedi or two. We're not really seeing a lot of that though in this game. It's pretty much just your standard sword fighting techniques that we've seen before everybody else. Darth Maul, I think, was depicted as being somewhat spry. There's not enough variety, I'd probably argue, in how Jedis fight. That is why it was such a big deal in The Force Unleashed to have a Jedi that held his lightsaber backwards. It's still also kind of why in episode 7 having somebody use a lightsaber with a slightly different design was such a well, was at least played off as being groundbreaking. I'm not sure if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing or what.
Cut them down.
We can easily defeat these droids.
I'm getting shot here.
Like,
We're not programmed to retreat.
swipe back, forward, swipe. Like, you can do the Yoda style jumping, sort of, but I guess Yoda in his CG form was the supposedly epitome of the ability to jump around and be spry, since he's a small alien creature. Why do none of the Jedis ever carry a blaster is an interesting question. Like, why not something for long distance and short distance? Or a better question is, why did the Sith not carry blasters? Let's say the Jedi, for some honor-bound reason, only used their lightsaber. Why not shoot these droids with a blaster right now? This is too much.
I have superior firepower.
And I fell to my death. And I fall to my death again. I don't know how you're supposed to get up there, honestly. So let's just ignore that extra damage. And remember, we're supposed to have triple combo always enabled. Yeah, my combo's gonna end in a second, I imagine. Let's see if it goes to a 3. Didn't look like it did. So it feels like maybe you can't even use the cheats until you've
We've got incoming. I'm taking too much fire. I'm running low on ammo.
like, what are the clone people saying? That, like, that's very odd.
Just keep them off me a little longer.
Your time is nearly up, droid.
So I guess I'm supposed to be heroically protecting these clone droids over here, but I barely see any shots even going towards them.
That's what I call a Jedi master.
Hold position.
Destroy droids any way of your choice, choosing. Destroy droids with only with other droids. And it really sucks to continue to do these.
Skills are looking a little rusty, Master Unduli.
And yours are looking rather undisciplined.
It seems like some group of 3 people were told to make 3 different types of fights in this one level, which all that extra work just got put in the game as these challenges, which these challenges don't work. They don't make sense storyline wise. They don't add anything at all to the gameplay. They waste your time. They irritate you. Well, they irritate me at least. And this one is destroy droids with other droids.
Are you game for a challenge?
I've got to wait till another droid appears, or maybe I can blow up. And my partner here is not doing anything. Let's see, I have 880 points. When I do that, I don't get any more points. So the only way to get points is to use these guys. I got 1200 points at the end. And I don't know where I'm even supposed to go. Shop-wise, where are we? Cheats. Apparently I need 3 more for big head mode. And 13 more for weapons light show. And we have 35,000 points. We already have extra damage. We already have combo bar. Continuous force blast doesn't make sense. Obliterate every target in one hit for 100,000 seems like what I want to save up for. I couldn't imagine buying droid dances. And the ability to lay more mines. And, well, I guess we started down this road. We might as well just purchase everything while we're here. So we've gotten all the droid jack updates now and all of the combat updates, which saves us time in the long run now, because assuming we never really care about hats and masks or droid dances, they are now heavily pushed towards just saving up 100,000. And I don't see a real reason to get infinite thermal detonators or any of that. You don't play as the clone troopers long enough for that to be helpful. At the very least, when you get the ultimate lightsaber, that is 2/3 of the game, it feels like. You're playing as some Jedi or somebody with a lightsaber. It's been another 30 minutes, and in this 30 minutes, there's been really nothing new. 17 minutes to do a level that was poor platforming with a few battles between droids we've battled way too often. And then we moved on to the next level, which is just the same characters. They stopped switching us around, and it's still more platforming and battles. This is getting worse as we go along. I don't know if you really should hold Star Wars games to a higher standard, but I think you kind of should. I think if you're going to do a movie license game of something that is a hugely popular sci-fi movie series, you have to do good quality on it. Which I think most people would agree when you look at Battlefront 2 and all the complaining that happened on that too. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.